I'd like you to clarify for me who constitutes the illegally present population in our country. And I think, correct me if I'm wrong, the term illegally present includes visa overstayers, those without documentations, those who came across between ports of entry. Are those the largest categories of those that you deem illegally present in our country?
So I'm not quite sure I follow the question, ma'am. Individuals who are here unlawfully, or if they are out of status, are considered in any illegal status as it relates to immigration law. I'm not quite sure I follow the question. My apologies.
I'm getting to the priorities that you have to establish for deportations. Okay. So visa overstayers are not legally present in our country. So would that fit under your term illegally present persons?
So I'm not, I believe that some are. I can.
Yes, there's two categories of visa overstays. There's in-country overstays and out-of-country overstays. Everyone comes in for a duration of status. There's a time they're supposed to leave. Some don't leave on time, but leave later. And we know they have left the country. Those are out-of-country overstays. Some have never left. Those are in-country overstays.
We have a lot of in-country overstayers. We know that.
Yeah.
So I've heard that even as much as 40% of the 11 million or so who are undocumented in our country are visa overstayers. So these would all be, I'm getting to the groups. So there are large groups of people who could be deemed illegally present and subject to deportation. And actually, I would say visa overstayers are among those, and those who are without documentation. That would include the visa overstayers, but there are about 11 million people in our country without documentation who would be subject to deportation. So, correct me if I'm wrong on that, Ms. Asher.
I don't have the breakdown here today as it relates to what constitutes the number of the 11 million at this point.
Well, no, I'm just so what I'm getting at, as I mentioned before, is that with so many people who would fit into your illegally present group, ICE has to have a prioritizing on deportation. So do you have a priority as to who would be deported?
So what we do is we enforce the removal orders as we receive them in conjunction with working with the immigration courts.
No, but who are the groups that are subject to deportation proceedings?
So if individuals who are subject to deportation proceedings, so anyone here who has broken our immigration laws or who has perhaps overstayed their time here are subject
So
to
that's a lot of
proceedings.
people.
It
And
is
when
a
you
lot of
have when you have